All right, in the studio with me right now, I have a gentleman who is running for re-election for the William S. Hart School Board. Steve Sturgeon has been in our valley for a very long time and an unbelievably dedicated person to our school district. Sir, hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I am fine. So this is not your first barbecue.
No, it's not the first one. This is my seventh.
This is your seventh.
I had the first three in a period of about 5 years, so the next four have been spread out over time.
And we're here today to talk about a few different things. You have some concern about the ballot and about making sure that people get out and vote. So we don't want a low turnout, no matter what people are doing. We want to get them to the polls, right? And the absentee ballots they can do now.
Absolutely. We'd like to see as many people as possible be responsible for the future of education and what we do over the next 4 years. With the trustee areas being assigned with this election for the very first time, the Hart District has two areas that are up for re-election, Area 1 and Area 4. Area 1 being on the west side and Area 4 being on the east side, Canyon Country and East Saugus. So I'm in Area 4, and there's only about 32,000 registered voters in that area. So we want to get as many of those out there to vote.
Now, especially those young people, I know I have a couple at home that are now 19 and 23. They should be very well versed in what their school districts were as they were coming up through the ranks, and we want to get them out there too. Those young voters that maybe haven't had an opportunity, they should be a part of this. And a lot of times it's almost an oversight. Oh, it came in the mail. Oh, I forgot. So now's the time they want to get on top of that.
Or when they open the ballot and they see that there's only one thing on the ballot, well, it must not be very important because there's not a presidential election or
right?
governor's election.
But it is. This affects our valley.
The Hart District is the largest employer out here. We have 2,000 employees and 23,000 students.
Wow.
So it's the largest budget. It's bigger than the city of Santa Clarita's budget. And it's responsible for about $500 million worth of construction and development over the next few years.
Wow. Now, what are some of the things that you are looking toward as you look down the pike at another possibility of being on the school board? What are some of the concerns you have on your mind right now?
Well, there's about four things that we've kind of focused on. First of all is our bond measure and getting those monies spent properly and adequately and get the projects that they were intended to built. Mm-hmm. The first one on the list was always Castaic High School. Mm-hmm. So we are coming to the close of grading on that high school, and construction should start hopefully early on in the first quarter of 2016.
Wow.
We have a couple of performing arts centers. Canyon High School Performing Arts Center will expected to open in January of next year, and the Saugus one will probably be about 15 to 18 months later.
Lovely. That's an arts person. I'm super happy to hear that. So thank you. Yay.
We have some two-story buildings to take away some of the portables
Nice.
at both Hart High School and Sierra Vista Junior High and Placerita Junior High School. So we've got some new construction that will be going up eventually there.
And you had also some other issues regarding core.
Yeah, well, the state budget is always a significant factor, mm-hmm. and the state has changed the way that we're funded now. So it's now called the local control funding formula. It's I won't say it's smoke and mirrors, but basically it's a very detailed manner in which the district and staff, administration, have to look at the kind of funding that we get, because the funding is based on the kinds of students we have at each of the schools. Mm-hmm. And by that I mean it can be the difference in economics, the difference in learning skills, the type of AP programs that we're delivering and the like. So funding is broken down first by school, and then it's summarized back to the district, and we're looking at the best way that we can allocate the resources now that the state has changed its formulas. And that will be ongoing. This was our first year. We're looking at, as the years go on with this budget mechanism, that we'll be better able to address the needs of the kids to make sure that they have the tools and resources they need.
Now, you've been so involved, again, in this valley since like 1980, and with your own children, and did you come to to Santa Clarita knowing that this was where you wanted to raise a family, thinking that, yeah, this seems to be, and where did your interest come in getting involved? Was it when your children were very little? Was it as they grew up? And because I know you were very involved with that before. How did that come about for you?
It really started with my children in elementary school. They were at Sulphur Springs as part of the Sulphur Springs School District. My wife was involved with the PTA. I became involved in some of the committees and, of course, some of the special programs or projects and events that they had. An opening came up on their gate committee, which was a special funding source back in those days. And then there was an opening up on the school board, which I applied for. It was an appointment at the time, so I applied for it. I was one of 14 or 17 applicants, and I got chosen by the existing board at that time. So that started me off with the school board and school board focus and the involvement both at the local and state level. I've been a delegate at the state level for 10 years. I'm one of 250 trustees in the state of California that do that. And then as my kids got older, I got involved in a site committee for La Mesa Junior High School. And so while I was on the board at Sulphur Springs, I was also on the site committee for La Mesa, and then I learned something about what was going on in the high school district, and I chose to run in '99, and I've been on the high school board ever since.
It's nice because you come at this from the parenting aspect. You know what was right for your kids. You wanted a strong school board for them, and I love that you're a long time member of the Santa Clarita Valley, and that your heart is very committed to what you've done and what you continue to do. So thank you very much. Again, we're talking with Steve Sturgeon, who is running for re-election for William S. Hart School Board, and get those absentee ballots out of your mailbox, open them up. Please take care of this and vote when, go in and make your voice heard. And as you said, the districts 1 and 4, repeat that information.
Area 4 is basically almost everything east of the Golden Valley Road, all the way up to the top of where it connects to Plum Canyon, and all the way east to Agua Dulce.
All right. Thank you so very much for stopping by today and talking to us.
Thanks for having me.